One of the most well-known and illustrious rivalries in business history is that between Apple and Microsoft. Did you know both businesses were intense rivals in the early years of their existence in the home computer industry? They were both started in Silicon Valley in the 1970s. Today's tech Goliaths, Apple and Microsoft, are more powerful than ever. In this video, we'll examine how Microsoft and Apple vary from one another and determine which company has a stronger business strategy. Let's begin. Firstly, can the leading provider of cloud software overtake the maker of the iPhone once more? Under the leadership of forward-thinking CEOs, Microsoft and Apple experienced a high growth return. Following his appointment as CEO of Microsoft in 2014, Satya Nadella refocused the computer behemoth by increasing its reliance on cloud-based services while diminishing its support on desktop applications. As a result, Microsoft grew its Xbox gaming business, released new Surface devices, created more mobile apps for iOS and Android, and gave up on the failing Windows Phone operating system. Before Steve Jobs became CEO again in 1997, Apple was stagnant for years. With the introduction of the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad under Jobs' tenure, which spanned from 2005 to his passing in 2011, the PC, digital media player, smartphone, and tablet markets were upended. With the release of the Apple Watch, AirPods, and HomePod, Tim Cook, Jobs' successor, continued to grow Apple's hardware business while enhancing its ecosystem of tethered services with the addition of Apple Pay, Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and other new offerings. Investors that had faith in the revolutions of Microsoft and Apple have made enormous profits. Since Nadella took over, Microsoft's stock has increased by nearly 570%. In the meantime, Apple's stock has surged 78,770% since Jobs was appointed CEO again. Over the past few years, the market capitalization of both IT behemoths has surpassed $1 trillion. Throughout that rise, Microsoft's valuation frequently surpassed Apple's. Still, today's market capitalization of $2.5 trillion puts Apple comfortably in front of Microsoft's $1.8 trillion valuation. So within the following few years, might Microsoft regain the lead over Apple? Up next, how are both different from each other? While Apple derives most of its money from the sale of hardware, Microsoft makes most of its money from the sale of software and cloud-based services. The key indicator to keep an eye on at Microsoft is the cloud revenue, which increased 32% to $91 billion in fiscal 2022, or 46% of its top line, which ended in June. Office 365, Dynamics, and Azure, the second largest cloud infrastructure platform in the world after Amazon Web Services, AWS, are all included in this division. The slower growth of desktop-based products and Windows licenses have recently been offset. When it comes to Apple, most investors follow its iPhone sales, which accounted for 54% of its revenue in the first 9 months of fiscal 2022, which ended in June. However, they also pay special attention to its services income, which at the end of the third quarter had over 860 million paid memberships and represented 19% of its top line. The bulls predict that as that services ecosystem expands, consumers will be confined to Apple's walled garden, which would progressively lessen the company's reliance on the iPhone. So which brand has experienced faster growth? Compared to Apple, Microsoft's business is more varied. Although the Surface and Xbox businesses are cyclical, its core software and cloud-based service segments are substantially larger. While everything is going on, Apple's growth is still largely dependent on its strict hardware upgrade cycles, which have progressively gotten longer with each new generation of faster iPhones. Additionally, it is more vulnerable than Microsoft to chip shortages, supply chain interruptions, tariffs, and increased labor costs. These projections should be treated with caution because they likely don't account for Apple's long-rumored AR and VR products or Microsoft's aggressive expansion ambitions for its gaming sector through more acquisitions. However, they unmistakably imply that Microsoft's cloud business will thrive even as Apple's hardware sales begin to decline once more. Up next, how exactly could Microsoft quickly overtake Apple once more? According to such projections, the price of Microsoft's stock should be higher than that of Apple shares. However, Apple has a slightly higher price-to-earnings ratio of 26x, while Microsoft trades at a lower 25 times forward earnings. We could argue that the flight to safer blue-chip tech stocks during the current weak market has bloated both stocks' valuations. Still, investors also appear to be pricing many of Apple's speculated technologies, including AR devices and autonomous cars, into its stock price. Therefore, it may be argued that Apple's stock price should trade at a lower multiple than Microsoft's. On the other hand, by 2025, Microsoft could easily surpass Apple in terms of value if those valuations were to reset over the following few years. Coming right up, will there be a special Apple event? In addition to the iPhone 14 lineup, Apple also unveiled the Apple Watch Series 8, Apple Watch Ultra, and Apple Watch SE during a special event in September. At the time, it was anticipated that Apple would also have an iPad and Mac-focused event in October. Over the years, there have been a variety of October events that emphasize the Mac and iPad. For example, the company hosted an event in October 2021 that highlighted the new MacBook Pro with its M1 Pro and M1 Max processors. In addition, a gathering in October 2020 was centered on the iPhone 12, which had been postponed because of the COVID-19 epidemic. Finally, Apple staged a Mac-focused event for the M1 MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and Mac Mini in November 2020. Apple, though, is allegedly not organizing another event this year. Bloomberg claims that Apple is more likely to make any final announcements through news releases than a formal occasion. In this scenario, press releases would be posted on Apple's website. At the same time, selected journalists will be given access to private briefings and review chances. As you can see, Apple still has a ton of new items planned for this year and perhaps even this month. Even if there isn't a specific October event, announcing these upgrades in a series of press releases will generate buzz and excitement as we approach the holiday buying season. Additionally, new software is still on the way. Both Mac OS Ventura and iPad OS 16 are expected to be released this month. Additionally, Apple is beta testing iOS 16.1's new features and enhancements. Up next, what's there about Microsoft's partnership with Facebook? At its annual Microsoft Ignite event in New York, Microsoft announced a partnership with Facebook owner Meta to improve metaverse hardware integrations and also showcased 3 new Surface laptops. The virtual reality overlay for Microsoft Teams' enterprise messaging platform, Mesh for Microsoft Teams, will be made available for the Meta Quest VR headset through a partnership between the two tech behemoths. According to Microsoft, the connection would allow users to communicate and work together on computers and cell phones just like in person. In addition, Microsoft 365 apps for Meta Quest will also be available, enabling users to use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and SharePoint in VR. Microsoft also unveiled its newest Surface products, including the Surface Studio 2 Plus all-in-one PC, Surface Pro 9 convertible tablet, and Surface Laptop 5. All of these devices run the Windows 11 operating system. At the event, the firm unveiled over 100 new services and updates and a significant investment in several new Microsoft Cloud features to support cloud infrastructure, data capture and analysis, hybrid work, developer tools, and security. Lastly, what are Cisco meeting room devices? At Microsoft's yearly Ignite conference, Cisco and Microsoft unveiled a new alliance that will provide customers with more options. Cisco and Microsoft will soon make it possible to run Microsoft Teams natively on Cisco Room and desk devices certified for Microsoft Teams, and Teams being available as the default experience in the first half of 2023. In addition, for the first time, Cisco will join the Certified for Microsoft Teams program as a partner. According to Jitu Patel, Executive Vice President and General Manager, Security and Collaboration of Cisco, interoperability has always been at the forefront of our hybrid work strategy, understanding that consumers want collaboration to happen on their terms, independent of device or meeting platform. 2 industry leaders come together in collaboration thanks to our cooperation with Microsoft to radically redefine the hybrid work experience. Jeff Tepper, Microsoft's Vice President of Collaborative Apps and Platform, says our aim to make Teams the finest collaboration experience for physical venues is brought to life by our incredible ecosystem of hardware partners. We're delighted to deliver market-leading collaboration hardware and software for our shared customers by introducing Cisco as our newest partner, developing devices certified for Microsoft Teams. Customers of Cisco's high-quality, dependable video technology will benefit from the digital workspace where they can interact and engage with coworkers, partners, and customers. This environment also enables inclusive and collaborative meeting experiences. In addition, all certified devices will be managed by Cisco Control Hub Device Management, the Teams Admin Center, and the new Teams Rooms Pro Management Portal. So this is all from today's video. What are your thoughts on both companies? Share with us in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will see you with another exciting video real soon, so stay tuned. Goodbye.